If you're trying to tell me something about myself, why don't you just say it to my face?
What? I just like this tune, all right? I mean, if you think it's saying something about you, well, that's on you, not me. I didn't even know you was here. It's on me.
Why?
Damn. I thought I didn't trust nobody. Look, just consider it a payback for the tea that you gave me at your place.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, but I don't need any payback.
Hey, of course not. I mean, it's not like you'd ever set foot in any place where you might bump into me, right?
I just came in here to find a book for my friend Teresa. Something to help her deal with the death of her father. Yeah, I've been thinking about my man Miguel all morning, too. She watched her father fall to his death right before her eyes. I mean, how do you get something like that out of your mind?
Time, I guess. At least they knew who the old man was. So I take it you didn't find out anything after you left my house last night? No. Things didn't go the way I was hoping. All I know is that the people who I thought were my mother and my father probably weren't. I could be anybody's kid.
Orville? It's Eve Russell. Orville, can you hear me? Wake up. I can't stop thinking about how you said there was some information about my past somewhere out there. Even went to your apartment last night to try and find it. As Chad caught me looking around, and I had to think fast to come up with a plausible story about why I was there. As far as I'm concerned, he's nothing but trouble. But why do you keep warning me to keep him away from Whitney and Simone? Okay, fine, Orville. If you're not going to wake up and give me some answers, then I'll just have to get them on my own.
Well, then check again, damn it. Martin Fitzgerald cannot have been released to any mortuary for cremation because his family never okayed it. How do I know? Because I'm his son!
How can this be? We did not give permission.
Maybe it's a mistake, or maybe they've confused Martin with someone else.
You're absolutely sure? Then you better track down the mortuary you released him to, because this cremation cannot happen. My mother needs to see the body again to make a positive ID.
I have to be certain that the man who died is truly my husband. I just have to be.
You get me two things, and you get them now. You get me the name of the mortuary who came and took Martin Fitzgerald's body, and the name of the person who okayed it.
Julian Crane.
Yeah, this is Henry DeBlanc, Mr. Crane.
You better be calling to tell me you arranged for the release of the body from the hospital morgue.
Yes, sir. I did as you instructed. In fact, right now we're both at the We'll Meet Again crematorium.
Then Martin Fitzgerald's body has been cremated?
Well, not yet. Actually, that's why I called. Now, I've told you that we've always valued the Crane family business, but to dispose of an individual's remains without the next of kin's consent is illegal.
We've been through this, Henry. Now, you just see that it's done. You keep your bloody mouth shut about it. I'll handle Mr. Fitzgerald's family.
There's something I have to tell you. It's very important. It has to do with my father. Why he died.
Teresa, I think I know what this is about. I mean, after the accident, you kept saying that it was your fault. I didn't understand it then, but I think I know now why you said it.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of a bird I knew could take me high as breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are
So you don't think the people that raised you are really your mother and father?
Well, I'm beginning to wonder. It's okay. I mean, it's not like they were winning any Parents of the Year awards, you know? I mean, they bailed on me when I was only a kid.
I know, but still.
Yeah, besides, why else would Orville want to destroy my birth certificate unless there was something written on it and he didn't want me to know about? At this point, I don't even know if my real name is Chad Harris. If only I could make out what was written underneath.
Well, let me try.
Take your best shot.
Everything's on here that could identify who you or your parents were has either been burned or is blacked out so dark I can't make it out.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Well, there's got to be some way we can identify the original name.
Hold on a second now. What's all this, we stuff? Hey, you better be careful or else Mommy Dearest just might take away your allowance if you get all mixed up with a bad boy like me.
Don't call her Mommy Dearest. And I'm not planning on getting mixed up with you at all. I'm doing this for Orville.
I see.
I like him, okay? And, he's my mother's patient.
You think that's gonna fly with her? Because, I don't, all right? The way she's gonna see it is you helping me out. Some street kid who don't know who he is, don't know who his people are. You hang out with me, who knows who you really hanging out with?
Carol, thanks for coming so quickly. I know you must be terribly busy in social services.
So what else is new? What can I do for you, Eve?
Well, it's about my patient here, Orville.
Oh, victim of a hit and run. How's he doing?
Well, physically, very well. But his mind is another story. Oh, he lapses in and out of consciousness, and even when he's awake, he's only coherent about half the time.
Well, what can I do?
Well, since he's not going to be leaving the hospital for a while, I thought maybe we could do something about securing his apartment and belongings.
You really think that's necessary?
Well, I know it's a little bit out of the ordinary, but I've become very fond of him. And his neighborhood is not very nice. And, well, I'm afraid that if word gets out that his apartment is vacant, then, well, it might be vandalized.
It's true. Older people can be targets, especially when they live alone. Even when all they have are a few mementos from the past.
And you can do something about protecting his place right away?
I'll do my best and let you know. You know, it's no wonder everybody in this hospital likes you. There aren't very many doctors as conscientious and caring as you.
Thanks, Carol.
Bravo, Eve. She has no idea why you really want people out of my apartment.
What happened? What did they say?
The hospital morgue's got no record of what mortuary came to pick up Papa's body or who signed the authorization for its release.
How is that possible?
Beats me. They say there was a mix-up in the paperwork. They thought the family wanted the remains cremated.
Are you telling me that they don't know where the body is right now?
You got it.
But we have to find out so we can stop them. Louise, if they go through with the cremation, then we'll never know if it was really Martin who died in the fall. And I have to see if he has a scar behind his ear, just like your father did.
There's no telling how soon they'll do the cremation. We gotta find the right mortuary. Fast. If I have to, I'll look for every listing in the county.
And I'll work on all the crematoriums in the area in case the body was taken directly there.
Right.
I'd better tell Teresa what happened.
You know why I blame myself for my father's death.
I took a few psych classes in college. It's not uncommon for children, no matter how old they are, to blame themselves when a parent dies.
This is different.
No. Is it? I mean, I bet you keep telling yourself that if you could have looked up and seen your father before he crashed through the skylight at the restaurant, you could have done something to prevent it.
That is true.
You think that if you could have called out to your father in time to warn him that he'd be alive right now.
I know what he did was wrong, but he was still my father, and I'd give anything to do last night over again.
But you can't. Teresa, you have to accept that your father is gone now, and there's nothing you could have done to make things happen any other way. Your father is responsible for his death, not you, Teresa.
You don't understand. I asked fate to help me.
Teresa.
What is it, Mama?
Something awful has happened. There's been a mix-up with your father's body.
What kind of mix-up?
Well, we can't bury him. His body has been released for cremation.
I don't know what you're talking about, Orville.
Save that for Judge Judy. I do know that you told that lady a while ago that you didn't want anybody in my apartment. And that's because you don't want Chad Harris there snooping around trying to find out about his past.
Not just Chad.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't want anybody there either, do you? Somebody might dig up something about your past, too.
Is that where you have the information on me, Orville? In your apartment?
Easy, Eve. Your desperation is showing. It's not very doctor-like.
I'm not worried about what my mother would say at all. She has complete faith in me.
And nobody says she didn't, all right? It's me she don't trust. So you're off the hook. Relax. You know, as a matter of fact, don't even give another thought to me or my messed up birth certificate, all right?
Fine. But, you know, you do have a point. Orville probably wouldn't have burned it if there wasn't something on there that he didn't want you to see.
Yeah. The question is, what? I mean, thanks to your digging around on the computer, we both know there's no proof I was born in L.A. Orville himself said I was born right here.
But there's no record of your birth here in Harmony either.
Maybe I was never born, and I don't even know.
Very funny. So, what happened when you and Simone confronted Orville at his apartment? Did he say anything about your parents then?
No names, anything, but he kept going on about, they threw you away, he threw you away, something like that.
What was he talking about when you were abandoned as a kid in L.A., or was he talking about when you were a baby?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if Orville knew what he was talking about or who he was talking to. I mean, you know how spaced out he can get.
I can't imagine that he meant that your real parents threw away their own child.
You know, maybe you can't imagine, all right? But the world where I come from, it happens. I ain't too surprised by anything parents do to their kids.
Well, my parents would never do anything to hurt me or Simone. They are the most wonderful and caring parents anyone could ever have.
That's pretty good of you. Sticking up for your moms like that. I mean, especially after she gave you hell for letting me into your house so late.
For your information, my mom didn't give me hell at all, okay? I just told her you came by with her wallet. And it turns out she wasn't even upstairs sleeping. She had gone for a walk.
Is that where she told you she went?
I'm sorry.
Don't be silly, Teresa. Okay. What happened, Ballard?
Well, Luis called the hospital morgue, and they told him that Martin's body had been taken, that someone from a mortuary had come to pick it up.
Well, then we'll call the mortuary and tell them we want Mr. Fitzgerald's remains back.
That's not possible because the hospital has no record of who they released it to. They don't even know who signed the necessary papers. I mean, even as we speak, his body could be cremated.
Oh, my God. Even in death, Papa can't rest.
There's got to be something we can do.
Well, Luis and Sheridan are in there now, in the kitchen, trying to track down where the body is. I just hope they find it before it's too late.
I'll go and help.
I'm sorry.
I know, Teresa. We just have to hope that it all works out for the best.
Mama, when you came out, I was just about to tell Ethan that it was my love for him that caused Papa to die.
I told you, you are not to blame. And until we know for certain if that man really was your father.
What do you mean? Of course it was Papa. aren't you telling me, Mama?
Teresa, I hadn't intended to tell you or Miguel until later, until after I had seen the body again. But there's a chance that that man who died wasn't really your father after all.
How could that be?
The reason I had asked Luis to call the morgue was because I asked him that I needed to see the body one more time before the funeral. I had to see if that man had a scar behind his ear, just like your father did.
So if the man who fell through the skylight doesn't have a scar behind his ear, Papa's still alive?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out.
If that's true, then my love for Ethan didn't kill Papa?
Laura told me what happened. What can I do?
I think Luis and I have all the bases covered. We're calling all the mortuaries and crematoriums in the area. One of them has to have Martin Fitzgerald's body.
How can the hospital have no record of who authorized the release?
I don't know. But whoever okayed it must be someone with a lot of clout.
Julian Crane.
Guess who this is?
Hello, Father.
I do hope that's your first glass of wine today, Julian.
Yes, but...
Don't even ask. Tell me, have you seen to the disposal of our friend Martin's body?
It's all been taken care of, Father. I simply called in a family favor and had the morgue release the body for cremation without the Lopez Fitzgerald's consent. By the time Pilar and her brood realize where Martin is, he'll be dust.
Just tell me where I can find the material that you've kept on me all these years, Orville. It's in your apartment, isn't it?
That's right. But as far as the exact place that I hid it, I don't know.
What do you mean? You have to remember where you stashed it.
That's been a long time ago. I seem to remember getting together everything and putting it in a red envelope. I was going to give it to you, and then, well, I guess I just forgot it. I do that more and more these days.
Please, Orville, think. Because my entire life depends on you remembering where you put this envelope.
I just don't know. It's got to be someplace.
Oh, that's just great, Orville.
Well, don't get mad at me, Doc. I'm telling you the best I can.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap. At least your apartment is all closed up and no one will go into it until you're released from here. Then you and I can go in there and search it from top to bottom.
Well, if you find all the information, what are you going to do with it?
When I find it, I am going to destroy it so that nobody can ever find out the truth.
Well, that's your life. If you don't mind, I'm getting kind of tired.
Okay, wait, just one more thing, Orville, okay? Now, why are you so insistent that Simone and Whitney stay away from Chad?
Well, with what I've seen, you don't seem to be too crazy about him hanging around with him anyway.
But you obviously know something that I don't know. What is it? I mean, what's going to happen if Whitney or Simone get involved with Chad?
If my mother said she went for a walk last night to get some air, then that's exactly where she went.
Fine by me. If that's what you want to believe.
So, what exactly are you saying? That she lied to me?
Look, not to bust your bubble about your perfect mom who never told a lie in her life, but to say the very least, she ain't tell you the whole truth.
What does that mean?
Well, maybe she started off going for a walk for some fresh air, but she wound up at Orville's apartment.
Well, that's crazy. Why would she go there?
Same reason I went. She's looking for something.
I would give anything to learn that the man who died is not your father. I would. But you can't pin your hopes on such a slim possibility. And it is certainly not a reason for you to continue your obsession with Ethan.
Did Luis and Sheridan find the body?
Oh, they're still looking.
Just pray that they find it before he's cremated.
I'm so sorry, Pilar. And your family's been through so much, and now you have to deal with this mix-up. You know, if there's anything I can do, please let me know.
Thank you, Ethan, but I cannot think of what. If you'll excuse me.
You never finished what you started to tell me. Something about fate?
I really am sorry about Teresa losing her father, but I will be damned if I'm gonna lose him to her. She wants him, she's gonna have to fight me to the death.
Oh, excuse me, Teresa. Ethan Crane.
Hi, it's me.
Gwen, where are you?
Lighthouse Park. It's such a beautiful day, I felt like taking a walk. Any chance I can convince you to come and meet me for lunch?
Yeah, sounds great.
Where are you? When can you be here?
Well, actually, I'm at Pilar's house.
Teresa's, you mean?
Sheridan and I dropped by with some flowers and food for the family. I'm getting ready to leave. Why don't I meet you at the park in a few minutes?
I'll be waiting.
I have to go. But first, tell me what you were going to say about fate.
Fate. Right. What I was gonna say is... fate's a funny thing. You know, one minute you think you figured out what's meant to be, and then whap, you know, everything flip-flops.
Yeah, I guess. You sure that's all you wanted to say?
There is one other thing. I know that Gwen wasn't happy about me being in your arms at midnight on New Year's Eve. I never meant to upset her.
Huh. Teresa, I know that. And if Gwen thinks about it, I'm sure she will too. I mean, you were in shock when you heard that it was your father who fell through the skylight at the restaurant. As I told your mother, if there's anything Gwen and I can do to help you and your family through this terrible time, please just let us know.
Thanks. If it turns out that my father isn't dead, I'm not gonna need any help. I'm gonna end up with Ethan just the way I was always supposed to.
Got it. Thanks. Family crematorium. Let's just hope it's not too late. Hi, this is Luis Lopez Fitzgerald. I'm trying to track down my father. His name is Martin Fitzgerald.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but that name doesn't sound familiar.
Don't give me that. He was taken without his family's consent. Now, if he's cremated, he'll be charged with a felony under the laws of this state. Do you understand?
I'll see what I can do, officer.
Well, you better do a hell of a lot better than that. Because I'm on my way down there right now. Call me officer. I didn't tell him I was a cop. It was like he was expecting my call.
I want to go with you, Luis. I'll get my bag.
I'm coming too.
Just do it. But I don't have consent papers from the family of the deceased.
Don't argue with me. Just see to it that Martin Fitzgerald's remains are cremated immediately.
Trust me, Father, Martin Fitzgerald will never bother us again. He should be going up in smoke at any time now.
Should be isn't good enough, Julian. I won't rest until I know for certain it's Martin's body that's been disposed of. Put down your drink and get moving. I want you to personally supervise the cremation.
I'm just saying, you gotta be sure to keep your girls far away from Chad Harris.
Oh, I'm afraid that's easier said than done, Orville. The more that I forbid them to have anything to do with him, the more attractive he seems.
forbidden fruit.
Exactly. At least to Simone, Whitney I don't worry about. She's got a good head on her shoulders. So just tell me what you mean.
I'm very tired now.
Don't do this to me.
Very tired. Whatever you do, just keep them apart.
Well, when I left your place last night, I went back to Orville's. I was hoping to find some information about my past, maybe.
And she was there.
Yeah. She said she was looking for some medical history that might help her patient.
Well, then that's exactly what she was doing.
At that time of night, carrying a flashlight when the apartment lights were working perfectly okay? Yeah, whatever you say.
I don't know what you're getting at here, but I'm not buying it.
Well, look, like I said, that's on you, all right? But thanks to your mother, I didn't get a chance to look around for anything.
Oh, she didn't let you?
Nah, she hustled me out of there so fast, I didn't know it hit me. That's why I'm going back there today. Maybe I'll finally find out who threw me away, and why.
Oh, there's my friend Teresa. I'm gonna go see how she's doing.
No problem. I'm a jet anyway.
Well, keep me updated, okay?
Okay, I will.
Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Much better. It's possible that the man who died wasn't my father after all.
You're kidding.
Do you know what this means, Whitney?
That your real father didn't do all these terrible things.
Yes, and that he could still be alive. And you know what else this means? I don't have to stop loving Ethan after all.
Well, I take it you're not mad at me for being at Teresa's when you called.
How could I possibly be mad at you? I love you for the kind and compassionate man that you are. So tell me what her boyfriend was like.
Boyfriend?
Mm-hmm. He was there, right? I mean, he must have been there to comfort her at her time of need. He was there, right?
No. And I suppose you're right. I mean, you'd think he'd be there while Teresa's family's going through this terrible time.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even think to ask about him. Well, he must have been there and left by the time Sheridan and I arrived.
Maybe.
You're not getting back on that kick about Teresa producing a boyfriend, are you? I mean, I thought you wanted us to get on with our future together.
Ethan, of course I want that. I want that more than anything in the world. I just don't see how we can do that without getting Teresa out of our lives for good.
How many times do I have to tell you, Gwen, that Teresa is not part of our lives?
Ethan, I know you don't believe it, but I still do. I think Teresa's in love with you and just hasn't gotten around to telling you yet.
That doesn't make any sense.
Since when does anything having to do with love make sense? Ethan, if Teresa is as obsessed with you as I think she is, I'd like her to get it over with before we're married, not after.
You know, I just thought we were past all this.
I'd like to be as much as you. Ethan, if I can prove to you that I've been right, that Teresa has been in love with you, would you agree to having her dismissed from her job at the mansion?
You want me to fire her?
Ethan, that job gives her an excuse to be around you every day. Having her dismissed is the only way I can think of to keep her away from you.
Teresa's position with my mother is important to her family. I mean, she helps Pilar with the money she makes.
Ethan, I'm not looking to take food off of anyone's table. I would expect you to help your mother find her another job, one that pays equally as well.
This is crazy, Gwen.
So you won't do it, even if I prove that I'm right?
Look, I love you, Gwen. So yes, if you insist, I will go along with this madness and accept your conditions.
It's all I ask.
But at this point, I don't see how you're going to prove that Teresa's been lying. I mean, her whole life has been shaken up these last couple of days, and there's no way you can go up to her and ask her to produce a boyfriend.
If it wasn't my father who died last night, it changes everything.
Well, I hope so, Teresa, for your whole family.
Me too. And don't you see what it means for Ethan and me? I thought I would have to give up loving Ethan because I was responsible for my father's death. But if he's still alive, that means fate is still on my side.
Has your brain always worked like this, Teresa, or is it a result of too many hot rollers?
Whitney, this isn't about my brain. It's about my heart. And for the first time since New Year's Eve, I have hope again. I don't have to give up on Ethan the way I thought I did.
And don't you think Gwen is going to have something to say about this? She is still going to want you to come up with this phantom boyfriend of yours, Teresa. And then when you can't, Ethan is going to realize that Gwen was right all along. And then they're going to get married. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Whitney, Gwen believes I just lost my father in a tragic accident, right? So even she wouldn't be so cold as to ask a grieving daughter to produce a boyfriend right now. Which gives me the time I need to make Ethan fall in love with me. You'll see, Whitney. Ethan and Gwen are history. Ethan and I are the future.
There's been a change in the schedule. Cremate Martin Fitzgerald remains first, and call me as soon as we're done.
There's not going to be any cremation.
What is this? Who do you think you are?
Officer Lopez Fitzgerald, Harmony PD, and Martin Fitzgerald's son.
I'll call you back.
Now, what the hell did you think you were doing? I called him a few minutes ago and told him there wasn't going to be any cremation.
Well, it's the first I've heard of it. I was told to see to the disposition of Mr. Fitzgerald's remains right away.
Oh, who told you that? Who gave you that order?
He did.
I know you.
Who the hell is he?
He's a mortician. He's handled the Crane family burials for years.
Oh, Carol. Back so soon from securing Orville's apartment.
Nope, nobody is getting into your patient's home while he's recuperating here in the hospital.
Thanks, Carol. I really appreciate it, and so will Orville.
Well, don't be silly. It's my job. You know, you were right about being concerned about trespassers. We got there just in time to stop someone from breaking in.
Who?
Oh, some young man claimed he was a friend of Orville's.
Chad Harris?
That's right. Should I have let him in?
Oh, no. You did exactly the right thing.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. I'll see you around then.
Oh, Carol, I was wondering, when you have a chance, if you could give me the keys to Orville's apartment. See, we don't know very much about him, his family or his medical history, and I was thinking perhaps I might go there and see if I could find anything.
Of course. It's not like I have to worry about you sneaking in and taking something. Bye-bye.
Oh, yes, you're a very good hider, Orville. But I'm going to find that evidence you have on my past before it blows my family to pieces. And while I'm at it, I think I'll find out about Chad Harris.
If it turns out it wasn't your father who died, then you should take that as a sign.
That's what I'm doing.
No, you've got it all backwards. You should take that as a warning not to risk everything you have just to get Ethan to fall in love with you.
Why not? Ethan and I are meant to be together. I can't fight destiny.
Ugh, and I can't fight the way your mind works. Maybe I'll get you some coffee, talk some sense into you. Well, that was quick. How'd it go?
It didn't. Social services was at Orville's apartment when I got there. They were sealing the place up.
Really? Well, why?
Ask your mother. She's the one who asked them to do it.
Oh, look who's here, Ethan. Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
Teresa. So have you heard anything about your father from Luis and Sheridan?
No. I'm still waiting.
Ethan told me that the man who died may not be your father.
That's what we're hoping.
I can just imagine. I'm so sorry. This must be such a difficult time for you and your family.
It is.
Just know that our thoughts are with you, and we're here to help you any way we possibly can.
I really appreciate that.
I'm sure your boyfriend will be at the funeral, right?
Of course. If there is a funeral.
Hey, and if it turns out to be good news that the man isn't your father, let's all go out to dinner. I mean, one way or another, Ethan and I are gonna meet this great guy of yours.
His name is Henry DeBlanc. My family has used his funeral home for years.
Well, you're in a lot of trouble, sir. Who told you to remove my father's body from the hospital morgue?
I can't think right off the top of my head.
Try harder. And while you're at it, who authorized you to cremate my father's body without consent of the family?
I authorized it.